Hello everybody, it's Saturday and I just am going to blow up any second. Here we go, it is number 6 times. Let me put the 6 on the screen. It is episode number 6. We've done this for 6 weeks in a row. It is more amazing than any other thing that ever happened that was 5 weeks in a row. This is one better. It's 6 weeks in a row we've done this. Today we're going to talk about Other Life versus Bushwick. If you are new to the channel or you are not knowing what is happening, here's what happens. We take one movie, we make it fight with the fists and the gloves and the guns with another movie, and whichever movie wins, he gets to stay in the podium in the background and become the champion forever, or until he is beat by the next guy. That seems fair, right? He is going to fight against this movie today. Other Life versus Bushwick. That is what's happening. Let's go to the drawing board. There it is. Maybe. There it is. This is Other Life. Just as a reminder, if you don't know what this movie is, go back to episode 4 and learn about what Other Life is. And you will find out what this giant purpley armed, broken-legged lady is. Who is looking like the lady from The Ring, crawling out of the well and scaring everyone, or typing vigorously. You won't know unless you go back to episode 4 and figure it out for yourself. That is Other Life. Today, we are talking about the Bushwick. So, we are going to make a new screen, eventually, when I figure it out, how to make it happen again. There it is, the new screen. Today we're talking about Bushwick, and this movie was very interesting. Let us put up the title here so we are not confused about what we are talking about, because apparently confusion is like, is it happening? So you have a lady, and let's go to another color. It's always red around here. Let's change it up. There we go, green. Let's go with the green lady. And she is walking down the subway with her boyfriend. And there she is, and the subway is, just being normal, and the dialogue is seeming like they didn't write anything. They just said, you guys go talk like you guys love each other, and go, just say whatever you want to say like it's a normal day. Don't even look at the script at all, just say stuff. There you go. And they're walking in the subway, and eventually they figure out, you know what, this subway is pretty empty. How did we survive, and how come we're the only ones in here, and there's no one else around? Did they not notice the entire rest of the building emptying out? No, they did not. They had no idea. So they eventually tried to go outside, and they go upstairs, and then they're hearing all kinds of gunfire. And of course, the boyfriend is trying to be masculine, and he's going upstairs, and he is immediately being blown up into a fiery ball of... He has a crater in his face. He's dead. There's too much happening upstairs. But of course, no big deal. The girl is just like, you failed, sucker. And then she goes outside and she's not blown up at all. She's just fine. She just runs away and she's seeing all this chaos happening, and there are people fighting and shooting at each other and saying things in English, because I don't know why I would need to specify that. But they are. And they are shooting at each other, and there are people handcuffed, and there are these soldiers running around with the helmets, and of course you can't see their faces. They're just completely nondescript characters running around with giant guns, and they're shooting and arresting everyone and knocking down doors and making the blow up happy times for everyone. Not a big deal at all. So there you go. She's running around trying to figure it out. Of course, she runs across. Let me get the new screen. I need the new screen again. Hal, are you there? Hal? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to be alone. There you are, Hal. Hello. And she's trying to figure out what's going on. She runs across the two gangster guys, and the gangster guys are like, yeah, we're the best, we're the greatest on this particular corner because we have the right colors of shoes, or whatever it is they do these days. And they are beating people up and shooting and fighting, and then they see her, and she is running into a, let me see, there's like a wall here, and she is like running this way into a cave. There's a cave in the city. It looks like a cave. It looks like it is in the sewers, but it's a cave. But it certainly does not look like a place where a person lives. But of course someone lives there. There are pictures on the wall. There are dirty things in the corner. There is a bed without any legs. It's just a nasty place. But apparently someone lives there. But nobody's home. She runs in. She's hiding in the box. And the gangsters, they follow her inside. And then they find her. And they're going to do bad things to her. It's not going to be good times. But then, of course, along comes John, the big giant guy I don't know what his name is. I forget what his name is. But he is bigger than the building. And of course, this is his house. He is giant. He's on top of a beanstalk. He's that large. And he's got all of the oh, I have to draw a stick figure with muscles. Let's just give him 3 biceps. Why not? Because that's how many he had. He had more than a normal person. And they were all over the place, and he's strong, and of course, he beats up these guys here. And they're no big deal. They're just little punk gangsters. And they get destroyed. And then he is like, lady, I saved it. Where's the lady at? I have too many lines. She's right here. Don't worry about it. She's just fine. She's a little lost. Not a big deal. So of course she's like, save me, big guy. And the big guy's like, go away from me because I want to survive and you'll get me killed. You will get me killed for sure because you are a girl and you're not going to be able to fight very well. We already know how this is going to go. She's going to be the victor. She's going to be the super strong lady and he's going to be the weakling. That's just how these movies work these days. He's going to, even though he's got all these muscles, he's going to be destroyed by feminism. I don't know what I'm talking about. And she is trying to convince him to go, and then of course he's like, I don't want to, okay, sure. And then instantly he's on her side, and then they are going to find her grandma, because she wants to go find her grandma. Grandma, I want you to be alive, even though there's all of this chaos and bloody mess happening. Let me put her hair back on, because you don't want to do. Let's give her more hair. I always put just 2 little strings of hair. Let's make this look like... There we go. It looks like a blonde-headed Tina Turner. That looks normal. So the big guy and her, they're going to find the grandma, and there's all of these bloody shootings everywhere, and there are bodies on the ground. And then, of course, she doesn't know how to use guns. The girl doesn't know how to use guns, so somehow she is getting into a situation where she has 5 fingers, and then eventually she only has 4. Not a big deal. That's just what happens when you put your hand out to try to stop bullets. It does not work, lady. So she gets that happening, and then they find the grandma, and the grandma is laying in the house, and she is, of course, still breathing. But she is dead, according to the script, so they say, oh no, grandma, you're dead. You can see her stomach moving, very slightly in one scene. But that's okay, it's not a big deal. She's dead. Everyone knew she was going to die. You can't have a grandma in this sequence. It would not work. You cannot be running around with the walkers in the scene with the battle and the action camera. It's not going to work. So we knew she was going to die before this happened. But she is dead, of course. And they do find a sister. So now, this is the first time ever, I think, I've had to draw... There are 2 girls in this movie. And they can't have the same color hair. Let's make... One of them was like a weird druggy lady. So let's make her look crazy, because that's what happens when you do drugs, man. You turn dopey, and your crooked smile gets even more crooked. There you go. There's the druggy sister. And they find that they are trying to escape, and then lots of things are happening where they're trying to make deals with the guns and trying to find ways to survive so that they can make it to this place. This big circle with an X in it, which is the extraction point. These are all 3 trying to get to here. And of course, let me give the big guy a face, because he's looking creepy over here without the face. They are running around trying to get there, and of course, guess what happens? Lots of things happen, but I can't tell you all those things. I can't tell you. There are things that happen in this movie that are secret, that you must watch to find out. Because, you know, someday you might watch this. I know that a lot of you have not watched it, and you might want to watch it someday. I don't want to give it away, just go watch it. What did you think of this, Hal? Give it your rating. Well, I thought so too. It was very exciting for its time. So let's find out what happened with who won between Other Life and this guy. Whatever his name is. Bushwick. Let's look at this Hall of Champions. This is what happened as far as I'm concerned. Other Life is still the best movie. It had the best concept, I think. Between the 2, Bushwick is not having the best of it got 2nd place. Alright? But here we go. Let's put the lines on, because it's making sense here. These are the 2 people that directed Bushwick, and they got 2nd place because of and then Bensi Lucas he got bumped down to 2nd place. But that is only because I don't think the directors were good for Bushwick, but the movie itself the subject material was not as interesting as Other Life. That bumps Alex de la Glacia down to third place here. And there's all the arrows of where these people belong. Christian Bale, where did your movie go? Where did your movie go, Christian Bale? It is falling off of all the podiums because you are in the movie about the money and no one wants to know about you. But you're still here in second place. You did a good job in that movie. Alright. No new actors this time. The acting was just fine, but it was not good enough to make the podium. Good deal for everyone. Next week... I lost my train. Let's draw a train. Why not? Let's draw a train. I'm going to draw a train, and it's going to be beautiful. All you have to do is draw a big rectangle like this, put little linkies here, and little linkies there, and put a bunch of circles on the ground, because that is, of course, what trains look like. And then you're going to put a little stack here in the middle of the cars, not even at the engine. Why not? You switch to black. Here's the smoke. Next week we are going to talk about 2 movies, and one of them is Other Life, because it is still the champion. It is still there. Wow. It's amazing how far it has lasted. But we are going to go next week against, what is it? What is it going to be? Can I get the drum roll? That's not the drum roll. That is just cheering people. Next week we're going to go against Infinity Chamber, a chamber that defies... It is an oxymoronical title. It goes against the self. Infinity, but inside of a chamber. It doesn't make sense. Let's find out what it means next week. Go on Netflix and watch the movie, and you can find out what I'm talking about next week. I'm doing this super fast because... Bye!